These guys really look like they're retreating. And you know what? Zeus frowns upon cowardice. Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at how to set up and use the new Zeus module. I'm just going to do a real basic tutorial and overview of Zeus, so I'm going to go in the editor on all of this. And it is extremely easy to set up. You can add it to any missions that you can open up if you know how to open up a mission. And all you have to do, let's see, where do we want to do this? Let's do this at the airfield here. So you put down a unit and just put down a rifleman. And then you go to modules and category is Zeus, and the module you want is Game Master. And once you do this, you have a couple of choices. Default add-ons and force interface. I'm not quite sure what default add-ons does. I just leave it on. I think that means add-ons present in the scenario. That's self-explanatory, so only add-ons that you have in the mission itself. All official add-ons. I don't know about the word official. Does that mean all add-ons period? And then none. So we'll just leave it on all official add-ons because we don't have anything on the map yet. And force interface. Now this makes it so that the player that's going to be controlling Zeus either has the option to hit the Zeus button or not. If you enable the force interface, then they'll be forced to stay in the Zeus console the entire time. So I'm not going to use that. And that's it. Oh, no, sorry, that's not it. You hit F5, which is your syncing tool, and you sync the Zeus Game Master to whichever player slot you want to be able to use it. So, since it's just myself in the editor right now, it's this guy. So, clear all that and do it over again real quick. So you just put a unit down, and then you go to modules, and you want Zeus Game Master, and then go to your syncing tool, and sync them together. And that's all you have to do, so let's go in game and check it out. Alright, now I'm in game, and let's go to check out the Zeus controls. So you escape, configure, controls, and Zeus now has its own drop-down tab. And it's got quite a few controls that you can customize, and all of mine are customized, but obviously the main one you want to bind right away is the button to open Zeus. And for me, it's shift page down to make damn sure I don't accidentally click it or hit it. So shift page down for me, and here's Zeus. This is the Zeus interface. And there's me. And we will start with some of the changes. So one of the neat changes now is if you go to empty groups, you now have outposts and roadblocks and camps that you can put down. And I'll just put a few down to show you how it works. So we'll do Camp Audacity, so you click and it brings all this stuff up, and you can't rotate it. Either you can't rotate it or I don't know how before you put it down. So click to put it down, and you've got a camp, a pre-built little area, and it's already all selected when you put it down. So you hold shift and you can click on any one of the items since they're all selected. Hold shift down and then click and drag, and you can rotate the whole thing. And that lets you straighten it out, and then you can move it and rotate it until you have it precisely where you want it. And that's close enough. So now we've got a little camp down. Let's put down a couple of roadblocks. And you do the same thing here. Click and drag. Fine tune where you want it to be. And there you go. Now I got a little camp set up with 2 roadblocks, one on either side. And just for demonstration purposes, let's put a few more of these things down and see what some of them look like. So we've got Camp, Audacity, Bravery, Courage, Defiance, Endurance, and Fortitude. for military camps, and then you've got guerrilla camps, which are all smaller. So we'll just put one of each one down and see what they all look like. So that's just one of the big towers with some sandbags or H-barriers around it. That's got an OP tower and a military HQ. And that's got 2 OP towers and a military HQ. This has 2 military towers and 2 OP towers and a little on a big old antenna, so it looks like it's a little retrans station maybe. And then lastly, what's this? Oh, it's a destroyed tower and a rusted out HQ building. So that's all pretty cool. And if you don't want all these icons in the way, you can go to the Edit tab and click Empty, the little drop down arrow, and it will not only make it so you don't see them, but then you can't click and interact with them again anymore either. So now that we see what all those look like, and some of them are a little bit messed up, a lot of the H barriers are in the wrong spots. So once you put them down, you can individually select and rotate stuff. Sort of try and fix it. But I'm not going to completely fix it right now. So let's start putting units down. And we're going to go blue 4, NATO, no, we want groups. Yep, I've got groups selected. Infantry. And we'll put a squad size patrol down. Let's just focus on, in fact, let's delete all of this. Just select it all and hit delete, and now it's all gone. Let's focus on just this area. So I'll minimize the tab so I don't accidentally screw up the buildings. And I'll start putting units down. So I want a squad size patrol around the camp, and then I want a fire team at either roadblock, and then I want a vehicle also at either roadblock, and then a couple of empty vehicles in this area, and maybe garrison the buildings. And you'll have to, once again, we'll have to fix those H barriers since a lot of them are in a messed up spot. Some empty vehicles in here, garrison the buildings, and from there we'll check out some other stuff. So let's first put down all the units that we want. So I want a squad, rifle squad, and then I want a fire team, like I said, at each roadblock. And we'll put another fire team on the inside. And then I want some empty vehicles. So it's going to be units, empty, NATO, cars. I'll put Hammett in here. Transport. Now I wonder if you can control click or control C and then control V to paste. Yes, you can. So that's pretty cool. And then we're going to go to give each one of these fire teams an empty vehicle. So now we've got vehicles. Oop, what's this guy doing? Oh, he grabbed something out of the truck. Alright. So is this guy. Alright, so now we've got all that stuff down. Now let's get it organized a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is have this rifle squad patrol around the entire area, and we'll keep them behind the roadblocks when they patrol. So I can do that two ways. I can hold control down, and you see the little plus arrow inside of the green circle, which means I'm adding a waypoint to the current waypoint. So I right click, you see the X's pop up. And now I've just given them 4 waypoints to patrol to. The problem is they're going to get to that last one and they're going to stop, so they're not going to continue their patrol around. But I want them to continue the patrol once they get to that last waypoint. And they've sort of changed how the cycle waypoints work. So instead of holding control down, you see the little plus arrow in the green circle. What you do instead is you hold Alt down and you right click, and it replaces the waypoints. It gives you a cycle waypoint and a regular waypoint, and you actually click and drag these. And if you noticed, as soon as I dragged that waypoint up there, they went from moving back to moving to it. And then you can hold control down and add extra waypoints. Now what they should do is they should go through all their waypoints, and then they'll hit the cycle waypoint and it'll pop all the waypoints up again. The other thing you want to focus on, we don't want to run through that, so move the waypoint back a little bit. The other thing you can do is click the waypoint and set their mode in formation. So they're running right now with weapons up. I don't want that. I want them in relaxed, and I want them in a stagger column. So I do that, I hit OK, and they immediately switch to walking in a stagger column. So now I've set them up with waypoints all around the camp with a cycle waypoint, so they'll continue their route around the camp in a slow walk staggered formation column. Next, let's do the roadblocks. And I'm actually going to split this group up for the roadblocks. So I'm going to, you hold control down, and this is how you break and make groups. So you click a unit, hold control down, and click and drag. And now I've done that for all 4 of them, so they're no longer grouped. Now you can regroup them by, again, holding control down and clicking and dragging the units back together. So what I want is, I want one of these guys up in the tower, so I'm going to move him. You hold Alt down to change elevation. I want him facing outwards, I want him in the tower itself. And then I want these guys to get in this vehicle. So, empty vehicle, you have 2 guys selected, they should go in the driver and gunner seat. This guy actually has AT on him, so let's get him out of this group, and we'll move him up here by himself. And you hold shift down and click and drag in the direction you want him to face. And then I'm going to group these 2 guys back together, hold control down and group them back together. And the little icon will always be above the group leader. So you select the group leader, right click the empty vehicle, and they should run to and get in the vehicle. And there you go. Now I can move the vehicle, and like I said, hold shift down, click and drag to have the vehicle face the way I want. So now it's facing forward, and I can fine tune its placement. And then the last thing I'm going to do is actually double click the vehicle. I don't want it to move from this spot, so I'm going to set its fuel to 0. Now the vehicle is stuck here like a static weapon and it won't move. And the other thing I think I can do, I tried this earlier, let's see if it works. I can select the driver. You can see the group. If I click the vehicle, it highlights the group over here. And the little crosshair means the auto rifleman is on the gun. The grenadier is driving though, and he doesn't need to be. So what I can do is hit G for get out. And the gunner stays mounted, but the driver dismounts. And now I can ungroup him if he'll stop, and I can catch him, which he did. And now I can set him up over here next to the AT gunner. So you've got your roadblock, you've got your patrol that's hitting its route right behind us now. You've got a gunner in a vehicle with no fuel. You've got 2 guys manning the roadblock, in fact, for accuracy's sake, let's have someone actually at the roadblock. And then you've got the 1 guy in the tower. And we'll go and quickly do that with the other group, with the other roadblock. And of course, I could instead give them waypoints to move instead of clicking and dragging them, but then they won't necessarily be facing the right way. And there we go. We got that roadblock set up. And you're not necessarily going to get this intricate on all your missions. And now we've got another fire team, and here we want them to man these towers and that bunker over there. So let's ungroup them. Where are you going? Stop. Alright, now they're all ungrouped. Now one thing I did notice is buildings that you put down with Zeus, you can tell units to get in. So I right click the building and he'll run and he'll get in. Now the question is, are they actually going to go to normal spots in the building other than that one spot, or are they all going to stack up there? So you can actually move them, and once again you can face them in whatever direction you want. And unfortunately, the AI are not smart enough to climb the towers, so you just have to move them manually and put them up in the tower. Oops. And then you can double click them, you can set their stance, so set them to crouch, prone, and then if you wanted to have them prone, put them up on the roof, there you go. Now the question is, when they start getting shot at, will they jump off the roof? The answer is, it's likely, but not definite. And there we go, we have an entire base set up. So that's one of the ways you can use Zeus, and some of the new features, including the base building stuff, the pre-built FOBs that they have. It's under groups, empty, and then you've got camps, outposts, and roadblocks. And hopefully those will get added to. Now what I really, really like to see from this is the ability to put down a camp that's already full of people in the defensive positions, or maybe a way to save your own template. Because if I could build one of these myself and then put units that I want in certain locations and save that, that would be fucking cool. But for now, we can't do that. So let's move on to some of the other stuff that we can do with Zeus. We'll check out the modules. Animals, you can put down animals. Play sound. Let's see what this does. There you go. Explosions, firefight, alarm. So let's put some sounds way over here in the distance. Firefight, sounds, and then to go along with that, go to effects, and we'll put some tracer effects down. You can hold control click and have those tracers going off. And then, of course, we can't see the tracers, so let's make it nighttime. Go to environment, skip time, and what time is it now? It's noon, so we want to make it around midnight. There we go. Too dark though. But now you'll be able to see those tracer effects when they fire off, which is pretty cool. So there's an ambient battle going on over there. But now it's too dark, so let's go back to daytime. There we go. And we'll make it rain with the water. We're not going to go to the club and make it rain. So we'll change the weather to stormy. And we'll change the fog, put it up a little bit. There we go. Now that's some immersive environment. And post-process, I don't know what this does. Let's check it out. Oh, interesting. Wow. I wonder if that changes those for everyone. So you can sort of change the color scheme. Huh. And of course the fun one, fire support, one of the fun ones, fire support. Oh no, this is the fun one because it has your 155s, your 230s, your 82s, and then CAS. So let's fire some of these off, and you hold Control down for multiple fires. So Control, click, and it shows you the area of effect of the rounds. That's pretty cool. These should be even bigger. I guess red is deadly, orange is damaging. Then you got your 82s. And then you've got the really cool stuff. You've got CAS. You left click and it lets you choose which CAS bird you want. Now I have mods with aircraft, but it's not working with mods, so. And then you hold shift down and you can move the orientation of the gun run. I'm doing a gun run right now. And see the bird up here. That's freaking cool. It saturates that, just that area. I don't know if there's a way to make it go out or make the gun run longer, but it'll just be that little area that's red. So now I'm doing a missile run, or a rocket run, I'm not sure which it's going to be. Nailed that one little spot. And then of course we want to do guns and missiles. And we want to do more than one. You just hold shift down and click and drag. Do flares. Now does that put the flare where you drop it, or does it put it up in the air? You cannot tell because it's not dark, so let's make it dark so we can tell. Alright, so we want to do flares. Click on the ground, we want the flare. And I think it shoots it up from there. And you got all your nice little flares. And what's next? Objectives, attack, defend. I don't know about those, so I'm not going to go into them. Spawn with loadouts. I don't know how these work, so I'm not going to go into those. End scenario, so that's kind of cool. There's an end mission button, but I'm obviously not going to hit that. Smoke shells. Let's turn it back to daytime. And you can pop smoke, so you can cover units advance if you want. or defend AI units, or however you want to use those. And lastly, of course, we have Zeus. We have the lightning bolt. Sort of like artillery, but also sort of not. And the thing is pretty powerful. I think it'll take out tanks. Let's check it out. Let's put down a tank. And then we'll go back. Modules, Zeus, lightning bolt. And shot at that. Shot at that. And the heavy tank actually looks like it withstood one hit of lightning, but not two. So if you're running Zeus and players are ticking you off, you feel free to hit them with some thunder and lightning. And the last thing is remote control. You hit remote control and you click a unit, and just like in MCC when you hijack a unit, it gives you control of the unit. However, when you take the squad leader, it doesn't give you control of the squad. That's kind of annoying, but we'll deal with it. And just hit your Zeus button to go back, and when you do go back, the unit goes back to leading his squad and going to all his waypoints properly. And lastly, as I did in the last video, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to siege this FOB just to give an overview of the real powers of Zeus. I'm going to put down a bunch of enemy units, and I'm going to have them push up on this camp. And then once they start pushing up on this camp, I'm going to put down friendly units and have them come to defend the camp. So let's do that. And what all do we want? We want infantry with a couple pieces of armor. So we want CSAT, men. No, we want groups. Sorry. CSAT, infantry. Ooh, that's loud. Ambient sounds. So rifle squad, and we'll put, let's see, you're supposed to have 3 times the number attacking as defending. So we'll put down we'll put down 3 rifle squads and a couple of up-armored vehicles. Rifle squad, hold control down so you can put them all down at once. And then units, armored, and a couple of Marids. Nope, I grouped that Marid with that group. I want that, so click the Marid and then hold control down and ungroup them. Just control, click and drag. And then we're going to have them all at one point, and I'm going to right click behind the camp. That should give them all a waypoint to move over there. And they've all started moving. So now that they're all moving up on the camp, let's move over to the camp and say one of the guys at the roadblock was doing his job and notices these guys coming. He's like, oh shit, let's call in some backup. So we'll call in some backup. What are we going to do for backup? We're going to bring a couple of tanks and a couple of birds. So we'll blue 4 armored, slammer up armored. Let's do 2 of these guys. Give them both waypoints to defend the camp, and the battle has started. So we can easier see this. Let's go minimize all this stuff. Uh-oh. Back. Do it quick. Run. Fly, you fools! So that's bad. That's loud. Sound. I like it loud in game, but I'm trying to talk here. So the camp is getting rolled over. That's not good. Tanks are on their way. I think they just started firing. Yeah, the tanks are firing, but let's get even more help. So let's call in some air. In fact, we will call in modules, fire support, and we're going to call in some guns and missiles. Nope, we're just going to call in guns. I think the tanks actually took care of the APCs, did they? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, those tanks destroyed the APCs. So that's good. Where are all the infantry? You guys are about to have a bad day. That's pretty cool. And now that the air support is gone, let's call in some artillery. Let's say that they had a mortar station somewhere near the airport terminal. You hold control down. These guys really look like they're retreating. And you know what? Zeus frowns upon cowardice. Oh, you guys think you're slick? Running through the lightning? Alright. Got this. I don't think they made it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this demonstration of, we'll call it a first official look at Zeus, since it's no longer in the dev branch, and some of the things it can do, and some of the things that have changed since the last time I did a Zeus video. And I hope you guys go in a little bit more prepared to utilize Zeus. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. You want me to hit it with the MGO? We're just tearing the fucking building to shreds. Frag out.
Frag out.
Frag out. They're throwing frags at us. Fuck this, I'm moving back.